Hey folks, Randy here with Dolan Cut and Trim. So, I've got a weird story to tell you, and it ends happy, but man, oh man. So, I think I'm allowed to share this. Echo, as a part, since I'm a member of the user advisory group, Echo is sending me a Echo PB9010 backpack blower for my honest and unbiased review. And so I contacted them because I wasn't clear exactly when they were going to send it. But I contacted them to say, like, hey, I was kind of hoping to have that by leaf season. So they're like, okay, yeah, we'll make sure we get it out to you. I don't have it yet, but it's on its way, presumably. So they tell me that. And then literally the day after I have that conversation, my backpack blower just goes up. My handheld blower goes up too. Both blowers go up in the same day. But it's time for leaf season. And so I'm working with a local guy, Billy Goat Lawn Care, who's on YouTube now, and you should check him out. He and I are working together, so he was like, you can just borrow my backpack and, we'll go on. And so I'm like, all right. So we're doing leaves, and I'm like, you know what? I need to buy a backpack blower because I don't know when the 9010 from Echo is coming. But I can't just be borrowing Bill's blower, So I'm like, all right, I need to buy something. I was like, well, if I'm going to buy a backpack, I don't want to buy a 9010 because one's being sent to me. So there's a backpack blower that I would like to have, that I think is the only backpack blower that makes any sense for lawn care, like blowing off properties. I'll do a video about that at some point, but so I'm not going to explain why I feel this way. But the Stihl BR450 CEF, that backpack blower to me is the only backpack blower that makes absolutely any sense if you're using it to blow off properties after you've mowed them. We'll do a separate video on why I feel that's the case. So that's what I wanted to get. So I decided I would get that because I use that during leaf season. It's not that powerful of a blower, but it'll get the job done until the 9010 gets here. So I'll get that. So after Bill and I are done working, I head to my local Stihl dealer. And I say, hey, how you doing? And I couldn't remember what the model number was, but I go into this local Stihl dealer and I say, hey, I want to get I want the backpack blower that's got the electric start. And he goes, it doesn't exist. Well, yeah, it does. I was like, yeah, it does. And he said, well, if that exists, we don't sell it. All right. Okay. Thanks. And so I leave, and then he, like, as I'm getting ready to pull out, he actually runs out and is like, hey, sorry, I looked it up and that does exist, but sorry, we don't sell that here. We don't have it. We'd have to order it. And it's like, okay. Which, is there anything more frustrating? That's literally all this place does. They sell Stihl products and they repair homeowner mowers. That's all this place does. And when I went to buy a Stihl product, they said that doesn't exist. So that's frustrating. So then I call another local Stihl dealer and say, hey, I'm looking for the BR450 CEF. Do you have it in stock? He says, yes, we do. Great. But I've learned with dealing with dealers in our area, So I say, do you, I just want to confirm this is the BR450 CEF, not just the BR450. And he goes, oh, it's the same thing. No, it's not. It's not the same thing. One has electric start, the other doesn't. So hang up on them. I call another one, and it's like a hardware store, and they're like, we don't sell Stihl blowers. So it's a chain. Every other member of this chain sells Stihl blowers, but not them. Whatever. I call another dealer, and they say no. They actually know what I'm talking about, and they say, sorry, we don't have that. We'd have to order it. Awesome. And then I call another dealer, and they say that thing doesn't exist. And it's like, oh my goodness, yes it does. And anyway, so they didn't have it. So nobody in the area had it. So we're in the middle of leaf season, and so I was like, okay, so I gotta buy. I guess I'm gonna have to buy a 9010. And so I called the dealer that I normally use, and they say, yeah, we got it. And I've learned with these guys. I was like, well, how many do you have? And he was like, well, we've got 2. Like, all right. But then there's this other dealer that I always forget about, that's local to me, and so I called them. And they said they had a bunch. So I drove over there, and I'm now the proud owner of a Echo PB 9010. So it's gonna be kind of interesting. It's gonna be kind of. Now I'm losing track of why I was even making this video. But it's gonna be kind of interesting to try that blower out, because Bill, the guy I work with, has the 8010. Which is basically the same machine, but the 9010's got the improvements to make it more powerful. So it'd be interesting to kind of compare the 2 blowers and see how they work. But it was just kind of like interesting, because when I went to buy the 9010, from this particular dealer, who I'm not going to say who it is yet, because I don't want them to disappoint me later, because I do tend to see the best in people. But they were very professional, which was weird. They had a computer system that they put my information in so that they could pull it up later. Weird. They were helpful and knowledgeable. Weird. And they, I get there's a discount that I get with through the UAG program, and they were a little unfamiliar with it because they're used to companies having to make a big purchase with them first, but they weren't jerks about it. They did the research and were able to get me taken care of. Weird. So I may have found a new dealer from Dual Cut and Trim, which would be amazing. These guys were very professional. The office was clean, and I don't know how to say they were professional. It was just very odd, because I'm not used to dealing with that. So, just wanted to update on that. I don't know. I don't remember what the point of this video was, other than just tell you that story. And just, isn't it ridiculous that I called around to steel dealers and twice was told that the product that I wanted to buy didn't exist. We'll have to do a video about that. I really do think the BR450 CEF is the only backpack blower that makes any sense at all for a lawn mowing setup. Other than that particular backpack blower, I think you should just use handheld blowers. None of the other ones make any sense to me at all. But we'll do a separate video on that. So this is Randy with Dual Cut and Trim. Have a good one.